Funchess to have
Stop doing
one.
the wizardry.
So if that would have happened, then I would have been able to...
Hey, Mark Beretta. Yeah. Everyone could win each week, Quentin.
I'm just...
Chuck Strong?
He's
Chuck gone.
All right, I'm all for that hashtag. The Patriots against the Seahawks every week.
Do not do that. Carry the 5 if Julio would have caught it. Then Eric Ebron had 10. Then you carry the 3, and then I still don't make the playoffs. Let's jump through them. Let's go into the game.
Let's jump. Anyway,
one person picked it.
One person. Whatever. Yeah.
Great pick, Matt. Fudge Nuggets.
Doesn't matter what you do in September. Doesn't matter what you do for most of November. Or October, the month I skipped.
3, 2, 1, go.
GM1 Fantasy League.
How are ya?
We're going to smash everything into one this week. You're going to have your fantasy recap. You're going to have your weekly pick'em. You're going to have your mailbag questions. All in a 25 to 30 minute show.
And if you don't like that,
screw yourself. Sorry, that was too heavy. Keep going.
Hit it. Welcome to the Mind Your P's and Q's NFL podcast, Week 9 Fantasy Recaps. We're going to go through these games at lightning speed. Quentin, start us off with the first game.
Great Cookie Traders versus the Cookie versus the Big Gronkowski.
Gronkowski gets the win 128 to 104. Now, this was a huge game. You needing to get a win to kind of keep in the playoff.
And I didn't.
You didn't.
Sure didn't.
Dropped two places in the standings, down to 8th with an L2 next to your name. Ethan Stanford gets a W1, and people are still in the hunt. So give us some insight into the game here, Quentin.
Well, I had Cooper Kupp, Des Bryant, and Paul Richardson as my wide receivers this week, and they scored right around 15 points total between the three of them. That hurt pretty bad.
Devin Funchess had 23 on his own.
Yeah. And I mean, I had Christian McCaffrey that night, who had 19, so that helped. But I also needed McCaffrey to have 23 and Funchess to have
Stop doing
1.
the wizardry.
So if that would have happened, then I would have been able to...
Hey, Mark Beretta. Okay, so...
Didn't happen.
Good win for Ethan, and you guys are both sort of in the hunt, but it's not looking promising at this point.
Well, him beating me just hurts him, because now I can't be in the playoffs.
No, wins don't hurt you. That's not how fantasy football works.
I'm new to this. I have no idea what's happening.
Next game.
Welcome to the Dog Pound and Hot Garbage.
Hot Garbaggio with a W deuce next to his name in 11th place. Did not move up in the rankings, but W2.
Not even. But we moved up in our hearts.
Question mark there. He wins the win 118 to 94 over Rob, who... It has been tough sledding for him.
It has. The whole L3 next to his name has been rough. Because there was a moment there where he was in that 3 and 4 category where he was like, maybe if he made a push. Mm-hmm. He went the opposite way. He went down.
He had 31 points from Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram had 33% of his points. That's not
everyone
good.
else. No one else on his team had more than 13 points. Dak Prescott had 13, and the second to that was Graham Gano at 10. And the Panthers at 10.
Partly our fault. We told him to sit any Packers receiver with Brett Hundley, who Devontae Adams all of a sudden 17.5 points.
Yeah. Why are you listening to us? Stop listening to us.
Watch
the podcast. Just don't listen to what we say. Have it on mute. We're hilarious to watch.
I'm sorry. Your team did not deserve to win. You scored 94 points. Hot garbage.
Yeah, never.
You know a little girl named JoJo? She sang a little song. No, it's just too little, too late. Okay, and that's what this is right now. You're in the pit with Bane, and you're just trying to make that jump, and you keep just falling to your death over and over.
Reference. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Next game.
Cousins are Eli's forte. Still love that name. Against berries and cherries. Don't love that name.
Adam gets the win 111 to 96 for Dylan.
Dylan never deserved to win this game because of the same reason of Rob. He had 96 points.
Yeah.
I told him last week that the Tampa Bay tight end that he left in, Brait, take him out. I told him there's no reason to play anyone on the Buccaneers offense. What do? You do 1.5 points. That's what you do.
Kirk Cousins, DeMarco Murray leading the way for Adam's team with 28 and 27 points.
Big.
Great showings.
Big.
Dylan still in. Actually, he moved down to 4th place from 3rd place. Matt overtook him. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But happy to see Dylan get a loss after some undisclosed communications that have happened over the last few weeks, in which we will not mention. But
you know who you are. You know what you've done.
I will find you.
Next game. O'Doyle does not rule anymore.
Long live the Queen.
O'Doyle rules versus Young Hoes Ain't Loyal, and Young Hoes Ain't Loyal took him to the yard.
To the dog pound.
To the freaking dog pound. Oh, O'Doyle rules is sitting in the same place that Harambe is. And that is not in a good place.
In a grave?
In a grave. I see an L1, and I want to continue that. I want to just see it keep losing. Because at this point, I'm not in the playoffs.
Well, at this point, none of us are in the playoffs.
No, I'm not going to be in the playoffs. So if Mitch keeps losing, more power to him. I'm all for it.
You're a week late on that, dummy.
I know.
You were supposed to think that last week when you were cursing at our number one player. And you idiot. You want the teams around that 3-4 area to lose.
And him to keep winning.
I know. Every week we have to do a math lesson.
I know.
Every week. Carry the 5. If Julio would have caught it, then Eric Ebron had 10. Then you carry the 3, and then I still don't make the playoffs. Playoffs?
So Andy Dalton had himself a decent
Bears are
game.
who we thought they were. Just start naming out all cliches for NFL.
Alvin Kamara.
Sorry, that was the last one. That's not football.
Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram are both putting up big numbers right now, which is,
Facts.
I mean, he put 31 and Alvin Kamara put 22 because they had 6 rushing touchdowns. The Saints had 6 rushing touchdowns.
Hey,
Insane.
we'll just say it. Matt, nice job on your trades recently. It's really worked out. And although Mitch didn't win, you got to give Greg the leg another round of applause. 17 points. This guy is a
on
champ.
fire.
It's probably because his team is putting up an average of 46 points a game right now.
That's got to help. It's got to help. The last 3 weeks, let's just run through it. 17, 17, 17.
He's a kicker.
He's a kicker, folks.
He's a kicker.
Not a quarterback.
Mitch gets his first loss, and Matt
Moving on
slides
up
up into 3rd with a W3. Since those trades,
Moving on
Carson Wentz goes off for him.
Big.
Evan Ingram has had a couple double-digit games for him.
Where he wasn't doing anything before the trade. I mean, not anything, but he wasn't doing great. That was insider trading with the Giants fan. I guess I'll say it. Next game. Tequila Mecklenburg versus Rawls of Fury. So, I know you have a few choice words, but this is a good game. 140 to 130.
It was.
Nathan.
It was a great performance by both
teams.
teams.
Mr. Hammer came out on top at the 140.
Nate had given up. He had completely given up.
Yeah.
There was 2 quarters left in all of his games. 2 quarters. He's down by 40 points. He wins by 10. Scoozy.
Scoozy. Juju Smith-Schuster. Good. Thank you. Thank you for playing him, Nate.
Hashtag
because
play Juju.
seriously,
Came
you
back
got to
to haunt
play
me.
Juju. Bilal Powell.
Should have played Kenny Stills.
No.
Rat bastard.
Rat bastard. Oh, man.
Thank God I pulled T.Y. Hilton before the game. I was like, there's no way he can put up 32 again, right?
No.
I was Adam.
He was
More than a Thielen, putting up 26 for me again. I have a good team. I know that.
Yep.
Okay? So I'm just
You
going to
do.
take that into next week. Mudslide my way into the consolation playoffs.
Oh, man. It was
Good
rough.
win by Nate. He's
It was.
freaking Robert Woods and Tevin Coleman and Austin Hooper. I'm naming off waiver picks that come through and beat me.
And have 20-plus points. Alrighty. Let's move past this before someone
win,
decides
Nate.
to hang themselves. Next game. This is a good one to see go down. Steeler Virginity versus Forgetting Brandon Marshall.
DK.
I'm going to repeat this a couple times during this conversation. Steeler Virginity put up 83 points. He is the team with scoring the most points all year. And
Second, I'm in first.
Sorry.
How dare you.
Sorry. Scores 83 points. Now, John, you had a good week. 107 is a good number. But DK put up 83 points. What?
Eventually, I mean, he has 2 of the best running backs in the league with Melvin Gordon and Jordan Howard,
Yes.
and they combined for 11. That's not going to happen very
Yeah.
often.
DK, if you're listening, And you have Travis Kelce on the bench, so that's always hurt. That always hurts. It's your top receiver out of receivers and tight ends. He's your top guy. So, understand.
Might want to think about trading for a quarterback.
Hi, DK. Text you about this. I'll trade you for a quarterback.
Josh
Hopefully, by the
McCown.
time this gets posted, we'll have a deal.
If you're going to get in the playoffs, you got to have a consistent quarterback.
Yep. Josh McCown is not your consistent quarterback. I've got you.
Forgetting Brandon Marshall. John, we got to give it up to you. Good win.
Very
A
good
W1.
win.
He's got 3 wins this year. Almost as many as you.
That was a low
That
blow.
was mean.
That was unnecessary. You know it.
But good performance. Over 100 points. You know, another team I would have beaten with my score, but I lost.
Yep. All right. Well, that's the games from last week, and we're going to jump into next week's games.
I can't believe 80,000 people are watching us live on YouTube.
Here we go.
Welcome back. We got our first mailbag question this week coming to us from Ethan Stanifer, the big Gronkowski. Ethan asked us to predict the Week 11 fantasy matchups, who our winners and losers are going to be. Before we start that, this week's mailbag questions brought to you by Fiji Water. Quentin, first game.
Great Cookie Traders versus Welcome to the Dog Pound. Robert.
I'm going to take you in this matchup. You got the number 1 quarterback or number 2. You got Cooper Kupp out there.
I don't know if Cooper Kupp will be out there, but most likely he
Rob's
will be.
got Julio Jones, who has 1 touchdown this year.
Yep.
He'll have 3 against the Seahawks. Why'd I say that?
Oh, got him. So I will be picking up a tight end, obviously, because I have it empty right now. Vinatieri is on a bye, so I'll be getting another kicker, all that.
Do you think you're going to win or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I will. Because Dak Prescott's not been playing well because he has to do it all now. And Mark Ingram, he's going to go off for 37, so that's the only guy I'm really worried about. Other than that, I'm good to go.
Sounds like Quentin's...
Feeling good. Feeling good. Straight into the playoffs. Move on. Don't say that out loud. Holy cow. Next game. Hot Garbage versus Berries and Cherries. I'd like to, on face value, I'd take Dylan. But Hot Garbage is kind of feeling himself right now.
Feeling himself. Adam feeling himself. We got... How are you going to take Hot Garbage here?
I said at face value. Now I'm looking into it, and I'm taking Berries and Cherries for sure.
That's who I'm taking. I'm taking Berries and Cherries. Although, Hot Garbage really pulling for you here.
You got to really, you have to take out Brait, Dylan. Now he's obviously going to have 27 this week, but you have to take him out. You have to get someone else.
Does Hot Garbage play Mike Evans this week? Yes or no?
Yes, you got to.
Okay. What? You said
no Tampa
moments
Bay.
ago. You said no Tampa Bay people.
They're playing Miami, who has been awful on defense.
Welcome to Miami.
Awful on defense. Play Mike Evans.
Next game.
We have O'Doyle Rules versus Steeler Virginity. This is a big game.
Is it?
Yes.
You want Mitch to win, though,
I want Mitch to win because I need DK to lose so that we really just split that gap.
DK does not have a quarterback. His quarterback is on bye and does not have anyone to fill him in or a defense at this point. He's out there trying to make some trades.
He is with me. Come on, DK.
O'Doyle Rules. If DK gets a good quarterback,
like a real good quarterback,
DK gets a good quarterback, I'm taking him. If he puts in like Andy Dalton or somebody like that, then I'm going to pick Mitch. It's all up to the quarterback, DK.
Well, if he puts in Andy Dalton, then he's taking that from Mitch. Or you could put in if you make a trade with me and put in a good quarterback, you, sir, will win this week, DK. That's what I'll say right there.
What a sales pitch.
Now, next, we have Rawls of Fury versus Young Hoes and Loyal.
Adam is not part of this game, but Matt is. And that's who's going to win because my team sucks. I'm already gone.
If anyone doesn't know what that is, don't worry about it.
This is your first episode. Welcome.
No kidding. Anyway, Young Jose Loyal is really on a hot streak, and he does not have anybody on bye.
Why does this team look so good?
It's so good. I mean, so good. Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram, you wouldn't think
Sterling Shepard is his worst player right now.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's incredible. I have nothing bad to say about his team. Absolutely nothing. I don't know how he ended up with all these players. But
to make matters worse, the Aaron Jones for the Packers is out, so Ty Montgomery's going to get even more carries.
yes, 100%.
So I'm not feeling too great about my chances. I think I got a good. My team can compete with anyone. That's what I'll say.
That's a fact. You've been putting up big numbers all year, but
the
hopefully
biggest. In fact, the biggest.
Kareem Hunt will break out this week. I'll make that prediction.
Playing the Giants defense, he better break out.
He will have his first
rushing yards
touchdown in the last however
since
many
week
weeks.
3.
Week 3.
But who's counting?
Next game.
Yep.
Cousins are Eli's forte versus forgetting Brandon Marshall.
And can John get his second consecutive, both of them, on a
Yeah.
win-1 streak? Can they get their second consecutive? At this
I
point,
would-
John is projected 56 points. I'm going to scroll down and see why that is. It's because his quarterback and tight end are on bye.
Cam Newton, that's going to be a tough one to replace
John
because he
does
doesn't
not
have
another
anybody.
quarterback.
So you got to go out and replace that quarterback. But the thing is, there are a lot of good quarterbacks out on the waiver wire.
John, advice from me, drop Terrell Pryor, pick up a quarterback.
Anyway, I would say that
I'm going to take Adam.
I'll have to take Adam just because I don't know what's going to happen with this team over here because there's buys.
Change. I'm taking John.
All right. I'm going with
Here,
Okay,
let
go
me
ahead.
tell you why.
Go ahead.
I traded him for Devontae Freeman, but Devontae Freeman has a concussion and probably won't play Monday night.
No, he won't. Doesn't
Robbie
seem like it.
Anderson, the touchdown phenom of the last 4 weeks, is out on bye week.
Adam Jones. Aaron Jones, sorry.
What about him?
He's going to be gone. He's not going to be playing, right?
Who?
The running back for Green Bay.
That's for John's team. I'm talking about Adam's team right now.
Oh, sorry.
So
sorry,
Robbie
sorry.
Anderson, Devontae Freeman are both out, and he's got Latavius Murray, so him and Jerick McKinnon. I just think John can fit a flex player in there and pick up a quarterback to throw 15 points up there. I'm going to take John in this one.
Todd Gurley is going up against the Minnesota defense, great defense. Then you have LaShawn McCoy going up against the Chargers. Could be a good game, could be a bad game. That's kind of up in the air.
Every week.
Up in the air, who knows? Aaron Jones, I think, is supposed to be hurt.
He is.
So,
He's out.
yeah, he's going to be
He
out.
can put Marshawn Lynch in, though,
Yeah, but he's playing New England.
who does not have a good defense.
They don't have a good defense, but they play better than what they seem to be every week. They're playing better defense than they should almost every week, it seems like.
So who do you pick?
I'm picking John.
So we both pick John. Last game. Maybe not. I don't know.
It is. The
Big
Big Gronkowski
Gronkowski
versus To Kill a Mecklenburg. Change your name. Just do it.
Yeah, put ERG on the end.
We're 11 weeks in. Come on. This was a good pickup by Ethan. I don't know when he picked him up, but Owens Darkwa. I have a good feeling.
Owens Dark
Owens? He owns the Owens stores? Whoa.
I think it's ORLEANS.
Yeah. Orleans. Darkwa. I'm never on a podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, hopefully Leonard Fournette actually plays well this week against Cleveland because he's playing Cleveland because Cleveland's Cleveland. So hopefully Leonard Fournette does something because he's been non-existent the last couple weeks. Other than that, you got the whole New England team. He whooped up on me last week, so
I would pick Nate, probably because Robert Woods is the best receiver in the NFL in the second half. So that's got to be it.
oh man. I'm going Ethan. And it
Good.
might be because I just got trounced by him. But I'm going Ethan.
That concludes our Week 11 fantasy picks.
Yep.
We're going to put our winners here,
Absolutely.
and we'll be right back. Hey, Robert Woods, you can go fuck yourself. That's the intro. Is that going to help at all?
Not even. It's already going to be matched up. But why are we not doing a 6-hour podcast?
And we're back. We got another mailbag
Oh.
question coming from Dylan Crosley. Dylan asks, let me pull it up here. Internet. If the Colts would have beat the Steelers, would they have fired Pagano at the end of the season or kept him? Thoughts? I think what Dylan's trying to say here is, if the Colts would have won last week against the Steelers, would that have impacted whether or not the Colts keep him? Would they have kept him just because they beat the Steelers, or would he still have been fired, like we presume he will be?
And this is all presumably at the end of the season.
Yes.
Okay. No.
No, what?
No, he would not have kept him.
He's fired no matter what.
If you would have beat the Steelers, who freaking cares?
Yeah.
At this point, you're a horrible coach. I still stick to this. At the end of the season, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and the head coach will be fired.
And I agree. I don't care if you beat the Patriots.
Yeah. I don't care. I
You guys
really
are
don't.
finish 5-11.
Yes.
So
There's just no way.
Chuck Strong
Is
Chuck gone.
All right. I'm all for that hashtag.
That'd be awesome.
Hell yes.
We started. Everyone does it. We're the coolest kids on the block.
Everyone listens to our podcast. Woo! Anyway, no. Chuck is gone. No matter what happens.
Chuck gone.
Get this started. Next question.
Next question we got from DK DeLong. Should Mitch trade me Tyreek Hill, Le'Veon Bell? That's not one person. That is Tyreek Hill and Le'Veon Bell for Travis Kelce, Demaryius Thomas, and Jerick McKinnon. We're going to put their point totals right here for the year.
Now, the Bell and Hill have a 276, and then the other three have a 315. So it's a little lopsided, but Bell and Hill are two really good players.
Those are the
two top players.
Cornerstone players to Mitch's team.
Well, why would he give them up for a Travis Kelce, who would be a great tight end, the best tight end?
Yeah.
But then you have Demaryius Thomas, who is a very streaky, up and down wide receiver, and Jerick McKinnon, who he's got competition in the backfield.
Yeah.
So why?
I think it would help DK. He would be a little less diversified, but at this point, Mitch
needs to keep his top players.
He's 9-1 right now. If anything, he needs to kind of trade his middle of the road guys.
Yes.
And get a quarterback.
For the love of mother, we almost did. We just did a trade. Can we do that? Can we do our trade alert?
Sure, why not?
Trade alert. All right. That was jazz hands. That was not trade alert hands.
Trade alert.
All right. I got Tyler Lockett and Tariq Cohen and gave him Michael Crabtree. I thought it was a pretty good trade. I like the trade because I need to diversify my portfolio here.
You do.
I really do. And needed a good receiver, but also I needed a running back.
So why did you trade for Tyler Lockett if you needed a good receiver?
Because I have Paul Richardson, and I'm hoping on my team, they know each other. They can, talk.
You go off this week. He's playing me.
Come on, man.
Cooper Kupp's like, hey, what's up? Play me.
Play me. 7 points. Fuck you, Cooper.
Hey.
I'm not that mad at him. So, there we go. That was our trade alert for the week. But going back to Mitch, he probably should get a quarterback. Yeah, we almost included Jared Goff in that trade.
Phillip Rivers and Andy Dalton, that's not going to get you the belt. No. You might get into you're going to get in the playoffs. But are you going to win the championship? Not with either one of those quarterbacks. Neither one of those quarterbacks has won a Super Bowl. They can't win a fantasy Super Bowl. So it's logic.
I don't know. I will disagree with that, but I will.
How many belts
I'll disagree with that point.
How many belts
You're
do
right.
you have?
I'll shut up.
We're going to put how many I have right here.
All right. The Patriots against the Seahawks every week.
Do not do that. I'm so sick of that.
All right. So that was your mailbag questions for the week. We're going to take a break and be right back. Fuck. I definitely scratched myself. Wasn't worth it at all. It was not worth it. Oh, fuck.
Y'all got any of that fantasy recap? You have the memory of a small child. Scroll down. Do not go. Oh, that's on the blooper reel.
Guys, welcome back. We're at the weekly pick'em, and we're going to do the Week 11 games. First game on the list, Thursday Night Football, Titans at Steelers. And we have those across the board for the Steelers.
In fact, we're going to do all the across-the-board games at this point.
Sure, we can do that. We just jump through them. Jaguars at Browns. Jaguars across the board. Then you got Chiefs at Giants. Chiefs across the board. And then Eagles at Cowboys. Eagles across the board.
Only 4 across-the-board games.
Only 4. And it's because the 49ers are on bye this week. Just kidding. They won last week. I'll give them a little credit. Anyway, now let's jump through these games.
Jump through them. Let's go into the game.
Let's jump. 4 of these games have somebody going alone. The Lions at Bears. You have Mitch Eby going alone with the Bears.
The conductor of the Trubisky train this week.
Yeah.
Mitchell Eby. The rest of us made the safe pick since the Bears lost to the Packers last week.
That's very true. That was ridiculous. Anyway,
One
next
person
game.
picked it.
One person. Whatever. Anyway, Redskins at Saints is the other one where we have, again, Mitch Eby going alone with the Redskins.
We should call him this week.
I'm frightened of him still. He didn't do great last week.
Last week when you put the
but-
owl. I'm
Just my rant. Anyway, Bengals at Broncos. You have Matt going alone with the Bengals. That's not a bad pick there.
I thought I was going to be alone with the Broncos on that game.
Honestly, I mean I'm surprised that we were almost across the board with the Broncos.
Brockweiler's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Great pick, Matt. Fudge Nuggets.
All right, next game. This one's a little bit surprising, but I could see it coming out not in our favor. Patriots at Raiders. You have DK the DeLong going alone with the Raiders. I think I may be kicking myself for that one. Kicking myself. The Raiders maybe show up finally this week. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a big maybe. I'm going to
a
take
big
the
maybe.
Patriots because they get stronger as the game goes on, just like
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is a Gruden grinder.
Doesn't matter what you do in September. Doesn't matter what you do for most of November or October, the month I skipped. You have
Unless
to
you're the
play
Browns.
well.
If you are 0-8.
No, yeah. If you're 0-8, it does matter. But if you're the Patriots, it doesn't matter. Because then you come in November, late November, and just play really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then just ride into the...
How about that right in?
How about that right into the playoffs? It was easy. Here we go. Let's go to a couple games that are more
We're in a mixed
separated.
bag. Mixed bag.
Ravens at Packers. I don't like either of these teams, and I believe you said that earlier. We have 7 people for the Ravens and 2 for the Packers. The 2 for the Packers are the Patrick McNinch and the other McNinch, Megan.
Oh, the McNinch duo with the Packers.
Last week, Patrick...
The cheeseheads.
Last week, Packers picked...
We're going out the man at a walk, and we're gonna murder the Ravens.
Last week, this guy over here decided to pick the Packers against the Bears, went alone, and got it. So,
Going for 2 in a row.
2 in a row with the Packers. Who knows? Next game, Buccaneers at Dolphins. This one is split.
This was the game where I said I hate both these teams.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Because these teams both suck.
Yep.
Or they're really good.
Mostly suck.
Mostly suck. The Dolphins at Buccaneers at Dolphins. There's only 4 for the Dolphins, and that's Matt, me, Ethan, and Mitch. I mean, this is a toss-up. Because who knows who's going to show up to this game?
These teams are so unpredictable. The Buccaneers beat the Jets last week, who were streaking. So
Yep.
that's why I picked them. Dolphins, I went basically alone with them on Monday night against the Panthers, and they did not look good on defense again. They looked just
Awful.
like when they lost to the
Awful.
Ravens, like
Yes.
48-3.
Yes, they're... Rams at Vikings. I'm just skipping over that because that's... Who knows? There's nothing you can say about that game. Rams at Vikings. This is going to be a real good game.
Yeah, that is
I'm
really
interested in watching this game. You have... you'll see it. That's 4 and 5 split. You'll see it. You'll see it. Rams at Vikings. This is going to be a really awesome game. I went with the Vikings because of their defense. I don't feel like the Rams have gone up against a great defense recently.
Except for when we beat them.
Oh, yeah. Other than that one. And I feel like the Vikings offense can play really well. Even though week after week we keep saying, like, this offense is really good.
No, I keep saying that. You keep going, it's the Rams. I mean, AFC South.
No.
They're all
I'm talking about the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the Vikings. I'll jump into that. Talk about the Vikings, how we keep talking about their offense,
we
and how all of their weapons are gone.
Not really.
But they're not.
I got a feeling.
The Rams offense has played really well the last 2 weeks. I'll give them that.
Not just the last 2 weeks, the entire season.
That's true. They are much better than what I give them credit for. So
Good.
I picked the Vikings, though. Anyway, next game, Cardinals at Texans.
Just a couple of teams out there having fun at this point.
I feel so bad for the Texans because...
What? Division rival?
Well, I mean, who cares at this point? The Colts are dead last. I feel bad for the Texans because they lost their number one player. He was exciting to watch.
He was.
And he's just no longer there. So, and the Cardinals are a nursing home. So
if Tom Savage and Drew Stanton had an accuracy contest, no one would win.
No.
They are both so bad at throwing the football accurately.
They really are.
Granted, when we played the Cardinals last week, the Cardinals dropped near 10 passes. So you can't put that on him. Yeah. I took the Cardinals just because the Texans are just kind of in disarray at this point.
They really... And I picked the Texans because I think the Cardinals are just trying to find their way as well. And they're getting beat up by good teams, but Texans...
Arians is a better coach than Bill O'Brien. That's why I picked him.
If you can come down to that, yeah. It was a toss-up for me. I don't know who's going to win this game. I really don't. Bills at Chargers. Next game.
Bills fans, so sorry.
Yeah. We are sincerely sorry.
Handwritten apologies this week.
I
have a speech impediment.
I can't talk more about them because I'm afraid to.
What's the split?
I'm afraid
here?
they're gonna blow up or something. The split is 4-5, so it's split right down the middle. But I have the Chargers and you have the Bills. I have the Chargers because they keep losing really close games.
Yeah, and I keep picking them to win those games.
The Bills' defense is non-existent all of a sudden. Just completely non-existent. So I think that Melvin Gordon and Phillip Rivers can put something together and actually finally finish a game and win this game. But
Monday Night Football.
Oof. Monday Night Football. The big game for you.
I just saw your pick.
Falcons at Seahawks. There's 3 people who picked the Falcons. Man, I'm trying to make a comeback here.
Please. Oh, okay. That's a decent explanation.
I mean, I'm in second, but I'm trying to make a comeback to Dylan. And I knew for a fact he was going to pick the Seahawks. So I had to go with the Falcons because I think the Falcons could beat them.
Yeah. Everyone could win each week, Quentin.
I'm just saying. I think this is going to be a good game.
It will be. Seahawks should win this game.
They should win every game, based on your opinion.
Yep.
So that opinion doesn't... Yeah, we won't even get into it.
Your argument doesn't hold water. Speaking of water, Fiji Water sponsors us every week, and we really appreciate them. That's all of our...
Sponsor Patrick.
Welcome to Flint, Michigan Water, sponsored by Grant Florage. That's why every week he's going, I.
My brain's just skipping beats. Who knows?
That's all of our weekly pick'ems.
That's all of them.
We'll put them here on the screen. Have you seen Jay Cutler's locker? You got a lot of shit in there.
Sound like a weak-ass clap.
I didn't know we were having clapping contests.
Sorry.
You're a reindeer. You got a big red nose. I get a cue card for you most of the time. Next thing you know, 10 minutes later, you're sitting there talking about the Dolphins again.
Guys, that was another Mind Your P's and Q's NFL podcast. We really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you like the condensed version. We really put it together so that we can edit it faster and get it to you faster.
Exactly.
That's all we want to do, is make you guys happier.
Be happy.
That's not all. I would also like to be in the playoffs.
Not gonna happen.
All right. Guys, thank you very much. See you next week.
Deuces.
Hey guys, thank you very much for having. Alright, thank you guys. That was your Week 10 fantasy recap. Week 10. I just say stuff, and now none of it makes sense.
Tuesdays. Just dates.
Bacon. Guys, thank you very much for coming on to the show. I can't believe I said that again. You are the worst!
I'm trying to hit a golf ball with one hand on the club. That's not even on the grip.
Guys, thank you very much. This was another great week of week. Oh my, I'm losing it, man. I'm losing it, dude. I can't get it. I can't get it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna count you down. 3, 2, 1. Action.